Hello my students, welcome to Gurukul Online Learning Network. I am Rajaram Chowdhury. I will take a class on English for today, class 6, lesson 24, and the topic's title is Aesop's Fable. My dear students, you can see a picture on the slide. Can you guess what is the picture about? Yes, no doubt, it's a very favorite story. How many students know this story? Thank you, my students. This is a story about the crow and the jar. Okay, have you enjoyed this story, my students? Yes, most of the students enjoyed the stories. Okay, my students, have you an idea about the fable and what is the fable is? Actually, fable is a story which has a special moral teaching. Understand, my students? Okay, do you know Aesop? Yes, thank you. Aesop was a storyteller. He was born in 620 BC in Greece. And do you know what is the meaning of BC? BC, that means before Christ. Jishu Christer জন্মের পূর্বে, that is BC. He lived as a slave for a while on an island, and his stories was not so popular and not so entertaining for the children because it has a moral teaching. My students, you know, Aesop died in 564 BC. My student, now we will read about a story. The story is about Aesop's Fable. Before going to the story, we have to know what is our target, that is, learning outcome of this lesson. You see, after completing the lesson, students will be able to read and understand the text, understand and enjoy stories, read aloud with proper pronunciation and stress. Okay, we have already known the targets of our learning today. My dear students, now we can start. You see, there is a picture. What is the picture about? There are some boys, they are standing, and one boy is holding a stick, and an old man was sitting and he was talking something. Okay, my students, let's go. What is the story about? You will read the story, I will go with you. Many hundreds of years ago, Aesop, a Greek slave, became famous for the fables he told. After so many years, people all over the world still enjoy reading them today as much as the Greeks enjoyed listening to them long ago. My dear students, I think you are listening the pronunciation and stress. Long ago and far away, There was an old farmer who had 7 sons. One day, the old farmer was lying on his bed and he thought that he would not live much longer. He called his sons before him. He told a servant to bring in a bundle of 7 sticks tied together. Understand what the old man told? সে তার সার্ভেন্টকে বলল এক আটি বাঁধা এক আটি লাঠি নিয়ে আসো. He handed the bundle to his oldest son and said to him, Son, now break the bundle. The son tried with all his might. বুঝতে পেরেছ? প্রচুর শক্তি দিয়ে তার সমস্ত শক্তি দিয়ে চেষ্টা করলো সেটা ভাঙার জন্য. But he could not break the bundle. One by one, the other brothers tried. একজনের পর একজন ভাই চেষ্টা করেছিল. None of them was strong enough. The father smiled. Now, my sons, untie the bundle. Untie the bundle. That means, আটিটা খুলে ফেললো. Each of you take a stick and try to break it. This time, they had no difficulty breaking the sticks. Understand, my students, what happens here? In a few moments, all the sticks were broken because the bundle of the sticks were not in a bundle. That was separated and that was given every son to break it. So they could break the stick easily. The old man looked at his sons affectionately. স্নেহ ভরে বৃদ্ধ লোকটি ছেলেদের দিকে তাকালো and said, Remember, in unity there is strength. তার মানে একতাই বল. Okay, my students, you have enjoyed the story. Thank you. You are enjoying so much, I know that. Now, what do you think is the main idea or the moral of the story? Discuss. What is the moral of the story? We know this is Aesop's fable. Every fable has a moral teaching. Moral teaching here is unity is strength. Why unity is strength? It thinks in this way. Suppose we have 5 fingers in our hand. If we try with one finger to pull anything, we are unable to do if it is heavier. But if we combine our 5 fingers, then we can easily put it or take it easily because 5 fingers are united. So, unity is strength here. You know, unity is very much essential in our family, society and country too. Another thing, if you have unity in your class, that means I want to say that if you do not make any noise in the class, you are united to listen to the teacher, you will be successful to learn the teacher, to listen the teacher and to learn the lesson well. Okay, my students, now we will do an activity. You see the activity here. Write a few simple sentences to explain what you mean by in unity there is strength. We have already discussed Another thing I want to say that if you want to be successful in your life or anywhere, any place, unity is very essential, because if you are united, you will not face any difficulties to gain your goal. Understand, my students? Now we will see a language focus here. What is the language focus here? Notice the word untie. 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 The base word is tie. We add un. So meaning is negative and opposite of tie. Understand, my students? You see, tie means to bind or hold two or more things together using string, rope, etc. Untie means to undo something that is tied so that they are not held together anymore. Understand, my students? Okay. Notice that we add an before a word to mean not or the opposite of that word. Already we have discussed it. If we use an with any word, that is meaning will be not or opposite of the given word. We use an with some words while we use im or in or this with some other words to mean not or the opposite of. Understand, my students? Actually, what we are going to learn about the learning or language focus, that is, we are learning about making the word, and that word, what is the meaning of that word. Okay, according to the language focus, we use im or in or this with some other words to mean not or the opposite of. Now, you see, we practice with some words that will be good for us to learn. Possible, impossible, that means impossible. Understand, my students? Next, pure, impure, impure, pure, opposite, impure. We use here im with the base word pure. Next, mortal, immortal, moronshil, amoronshil, opposite. Immortal is opposite of mortal. Discipline, indiscipline, deed, indeed, secure, insecure, honest, dishonest, honor, dishonor, used, unused, do, undo, fit, unfit. Have you seen, my students, what we have used here? We used im, in or this to make the opposite word from the base word. Okay, my students, now we will do another activity. You see, read the sentences below. The base word is underlined in the first sentence of each group of sentences. Add an, dis, im or in to each base word to make a new word. Now, fill in each blank in every second sentence with a suitable new word. We have already gained the idea how we can make the new word from the base word. Maher folded the handkerchief carefully and gave it to me. When I unfolded, understand my student? Unfolded the handkerchief, there was a coin in it. Do you like my poster, Robin? Asked Maher. No, I dislike too much of black and red together, said Robin. Teacher, is my answer correct? No, dear, it's incorrect. Try again. Is it possible to change this dress? I bought it last week, but I don't like the color now, said Mila. It is impossible. Ma'am, you have already earned it, replied the salesperson. Okay, my students, we have used some opposite word from the base word. My students, what we have learned from this lesson? We have read and understood the story well. We have enjoyed the story. We have read aloud the story with proper pronunciation and stress. My students, we are in the last part of our lesson. I will give you a homework, and when your school will open, you will show your homework to your subject teacher. The homework is, the story below is about a woodcutter. Complete the story. Once upon a time, there was a farmer living in a village near a forest. He was very poor. He had only an axe. One day, he went to a deep forest beside a river for cutting wood. Suddenly, his axe fell into the river. Then I think you complete the story at home. Okay, my students, I think you have enjoyed the lesson. Keep safe and sound at home, and you will follow the rules and regulations given by the government regarding COVID-19. Stay safe at home, my students. Thank you.